Welcome everybody to Fandom Nights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. I'm Chris. And
I'm Dustin.
And I'm Sherman.
And today we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 3, Chepisode 4, Sokka's Master, which was released on October 12th of 2007.
Looks like Chris got bored.
What? Why do you say that? There's not many notes, or what?
Because you put pictures on your notes.
Oh yeah,
that
I
only you see.
I noticed that a couple weeks ago, but I didn't say anything. Because I'm like, all right, whatever. It's his own notes.
Yeah, it makes me feel good.
I mean,
it's
that's
easy, especially when I'm counting bending. I did it because when I'm counting bending, it's just a quick glance. Oh, blue, green, red, air. Like I just.
Yeah, but there's actual fire in your red one.
Yeah, I like.
No, he has all the symbols of each one.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to do with whatever he just said. It's pure just nerding out.
Anyways.
Has some free time.
That's what we're here for, though.
Exactly.
Nerd out.
I love this episode.
The Shep?
The Chepisode. And eventually, probably, I'm going to be putting these in the notes of our episode so that people can see my notes. Anyways.
Okay.
Dustin, take us through the story.
I think they're gonna comment on your chicken scratch or handwriting.
I can't even decipher it sometimes.
Yeah, it's worth just keeping this.
Yep.
Did you get the good cast reference for this episode? For PN?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I put that in here, but I'll let you do that. But I just thought it was really cool.
Oh, you mean the guy who can actually make swords out of his hands?
Yeah, he's part of that debate we had.
I know. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this episode, you already kick it off or what?
I just put stargazing. They're all just looking at the stars, except for Toph, who's trying to look at the stars.
Yeah, she's like, seeing nothing 1,000 times is really just the same thing.
Yeah. Was she born blind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's never seen, so she doesn't know it. Yeah, that's crazy.
It'd be way more sad if because she's what, 10? 12?
Yeah. She just went blind. Yeah.
Oh, I've been blind since I was 5.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't be as good of an earthbender, I guess, if she was ever could see. She would. I don't know. Yeah. So stargazing. I that's all I put on there for that.
Makes you really think about how insignificant we all are.
Mm-hmm.
In the animated universe.
Dot.
So a meteor hits the hill a hill nearby where they are resting, and they go to put out the flames from the meteor, and it's spreading to a town that's near them.
They're literally like Superman, diverting rivers and putting.
It was like the Avengers, just all doing their own separate little jobs.
And
Except Sokka.
Except Sokka. Even Momo does more than Sokka. He puts out 6 fires, and Sokka's just working on one.
Just clubbing it.
Get down.
So what bugged me about this was when Katara was like, "Oh, there's a creek nearby. I'll divert the water." But the animation made it look like an actual river.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, not the size of the one that we were in last episode, but growing up in this area, we have a ton of creeks and they're tiny. You could literally walk across them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. More like a river.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of has a duty to kind of help out, and Sokka's just sitting there kind of helpless, it seems, just like, oh, nothing for me to do. Watch out, Sokka! All right.
Stay out, get out of the way. That's all he can do.
So then it cuts to a scene of a guard delivering food to Iroh in prison. And seems very content, though. With
the acting job of Iroh in this episode. Holy crap.
I know. I just love how we just flash back to Iroh every once in a while, and he's just getting cooler and cooler. It's just showing that he's developing himself. It's just this little tiny
swole.
B-plot. Yeah.
He's busy getting swole.
Ridiculously swole.
And I love how he's faking to all the guards
crazy
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Looking.
I think it's the same
crazy.
guard the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same guard.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It looks like the same guard to me. So it cuts back to the gang, and Sokka gets bummed that he can't bend or do anything special like all you guys can do. And Katara tries to reassure him by saying, "No one can read a map like you." And Toph's like, "I can't read at all."
Never mind that I invented metal bending.
Yeah. I can't read. So Sokka is just super bummed that he's the regular guy in the group, and Katara and everyone knows that they don't feel that way about him, and so they try to think of a way to cheer him up, and shopping.
Yeah.
the only thing
So
to cure
excited
Sokka is shopping.
He gets attached to things, man. He's still carrying that bag from.
I know.
I think he has it through the whole show.
Series, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to go read the comics and see if he still has it on.
He
See
buys
how
things for
long he
life.
took it. Because the comics go a couple of years after the show. So,
Yeah.
So imagine the reference like build up if like when you see like old Sokka in Legend of Korra. Like imagine if he still had that bag just chilling on him like while he's walking around Republic
Just in
City.
the background or something in his house. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
or when he's talking about at Yakon's trial or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
What if he just had the bag on while he's talking?
He takes his files out of it.
Or when he's telling about I killed a man with a mirror or I killed the combustion man with a mirror
yeah.
boomerang. What if he just like took it out of his bag? The boomerang just like with a mirror boomerang. So then next they are in this like armory type place looking for weapons to shop for.
Which I love is just a normal thing for the Fire Nation. Oh yeah, just go over to like your local weapons depot.
Yeah, 12-year-old child, go buy a sword.
Yeah.
Where are your parents? Nope, just you want to buy this?
If they had enough money, Aang could have gotten that whole suit of armor if he wanted.
It reminds me of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Jake and Captain Holt are down in Florida and they're buying the guns. And he's like, "Oh, don't you need to see our IDs?" And he's like, "The website's down." It's kind of like that. Don't worry about it. It's kind of like that.
Website's down.
Yeah. If you know what I mean.
Oh gosh.
So then we get this ridiculous scene of Aang in just this amazing suit of armor that
He
serves
looks awesome at first. You're like, whoa, okay.
I read the art book, and the reason why they put this ridiculous armor on him is because they had to come up with different designs for toys and stuff, and they just couldn't. They were just, I don't know, driving them insane about it, and so they just created this funny super uber armor for
So
Aang.
that turned into a toy at some
It was a
point?
toy design.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
I read that too, though. I thought that was.
But this sounded awesome. He's like, "Oh, all I need is my air sword." I'm like, "That sounds so cool." Like an air sword. I don't know. It just sounded like a cool idea.
What if he just had a hilt that had nothing, but he's just something?
Yeah, I know.
See, that bugged me because he did have one in his hand.
Yeah, he was holding the hilt, and he's like, "Oh, I just got to airbend and make a blade." Like that's nothing to him. Like, okay, do that. That sounds sweet.
Cut limbs off.
Yeah.
The other thing that kind of bugged me about that
lightsaber.
whole outfit, though, was like his left arm was in like this huge freaking thing, but then his right arm, when he was swinging that hilt around, was totally free. I'm like, all right, so there's your weak
He needs
spot.
to be able to airbend somehow.
And then did you guys see the magical, mystical ribbons that were flying in the background with no wind?
Yeah. This episode and wait.
That was actually intended, though. So it's not anything to goof for the visuals.
Yeah, this episode and the last episode when Katara was acting as the painted lady, whenever she was the spirit, it was like wind flowing through her robes and stuff, and then as soon as they say, "You're not the spirit," like it all calms down.
She put water on the ribbons so that she could control and water bend them. And she's water bending.
Maybe I didn't count that towards the bending, but that's a good theory.
I didn't count that, but I'm going to answer.
Nope, Aang's just under the boards.
Oh, yeah. And he knew the whole time. He was just bull crapping. So Sokka tries out different weapons and then finds one that's made by Master Piandao. Sorry.
Piandao. The weapons he tries, though, man.
I like how he
Not
tries
skilled.
like every single one.
I do like that he pulled out the double swords that like Zuko normally kind of uses.
Did he? I didn't
Yeah,
notice
because
that
he's like.
part. Okay.
For being the oldest of the group, he's definitely the youngest in the mind.
Oh my gosh! Well, sometimes. I think they all like they all fluctuate.
Except Katara.
Katara.
Like she's the certified mother.
Of that whole group.
So then we learn that Toph learned earthbending from the Badger Moles in this scene.
We already knew that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Oh,
talks
she
about
just
that.
Yeah, because she talks about that during The Blind Bandit, I think, or one of those episodes.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right, when we first meet her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Another quick cut. I like how there was only like 3 cutscenes of Iroh, but this was another cutscene of Iroh just beginning his
Doing
training.
sit-ups. Yeah.
I love that because he's just laying there for a second, and I'm like, he just starts sit-ups like a beast.
I guess. What else do you do? He's just keeping his mind straight by holding his body up. Yeah.
So then Sokka knocks. So they find out that sword is made by Master Piandao, and so they go and discover that Sokka just needs a master because we've all had a master. Everyone can benefit from a master, and so this is where they waste 3 days on their schedule.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so we're gonna do day number 1. We're just shopping, and it's like 12. So why not just go
to make you feel
knock on the
better
door?
Yeah. And again, the whole master thing. I understand that it was cool to see, but he's not really your master if you only hang out with him for 3 days. Like, I don't know. Does he go back?
How long did Luke hang out with Yoda?
Yeah, I know, but 3 days. Like, what are you going to learn in 3 days?
Also,
how much did Luke learn? In
well, not just
like
that, but
3
think
weeks,
more of
though,
a.
wasn't it?
Think of it
Dagobah?
more as like a
only a couple
title
days.
though.
I don't think it was weeks. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, people out there, but I don't think it was
So-
weeks.
Think of it more as like a title that he's earned, not necessarily Sokka's like, not like master to Sokka like in forever.
He's just a master swordsman.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a sword master.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They just play it up, and again, it's a kids show, and it's a show too, so you can't show like a big, long, huge. Like if you were going to train with a master, you'd be doing it for your entire adolescence. Like, you know what I mean? But
So then, technically, Paku is not Katara's master,
Right.
or Aang's master.
right. No,
I mean,
know.
they also did that like had way more time back then, so like, I mean, that one would make more sense because like they spent like a solid month.
Yeah, but that's not your entire adolescence. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's beside the point. But
I'm assuming after the events of the show, he would go back to train more.
Probably.
Because I mean,
He
like,
said one day he'd be a greater swordsman than him.
yeah. But I'm also assuming that like because Piandao doesn't die in the series.
That we know of.
So,
Yeah. Right.
So then he starts his training, and I always wondered why swordsmen in like kung fu movies and stuff, they're always doing the writing like in that certain way on the big sheets of paper, but it makes sense. And I like the line in this where he says you can't take back the strokes of your brush just like you can't take back the strokes of your sword. I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. It has him write his name, and instead of writing his name, I just have to make my mark, like my own personality, paints his face and smears his face down.
I like how humble he is before that.
How humble
Sokka?
Sokka is.
Yeah.
Oh,
When,
yeah.
tries
To convince,
think
convince
Sokka's
him.
going to give all these cocky answers. Like, after he said, like, I've been around the world, he's like, here we go.
Yep.
And then he's like, but I don't know if I'm worthy. But that's the exact answer Piandao wanted to
I
hear.
think that's the best attitude to have when you're learning something and when you're training people, just in general in life. Just know that you have a lot to learn. You're never the master.
It's always the people who show up to like a brand new job, especially if you have to like train them in.
Yeah.
At like any job,
Who say
and they're
they
like,
know everything.
"Oh yeah, no, I've done this at like other places before." Well, you haven't done it here, so
Right.
shut your mouth
I
and
know.
listen.
I hate
I've
that
done it
so
many
much.
times.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
I used to love, or not love, but I used to watch the Louis C.K. show, and there was like good one-liners in there, even though it was a weird, messed up show and Louis C.K. and all that. But like, I liked his one-liners that he had. One of them was, "Say you know nothing and you learn everything," and he just like says that in the middle of this comedy show. I'm like, whoa, heck yeah, man. I mean, it's probably from something else too, but that's what I know it from, and I don't know. That's what Sokka's whole approach to life is. Not knowing anything and being very honest about that and learning a lot. So, sorry, I got dust in my lungs.
So then, Piandao says, just like the imagination, the possibilities are endless, just like with a sword. And then we get a cut to Aang, Toph, and Katara, and they're just super bored, trying to come up with clever little puns, and it's just not working out.
Yeah.
They definitely need Sokka there.
Man, it's hot outside. How hot is it? I don't know. Really hot?
You think they'd be like training or something or practicing, but
Nope,
they're all masters already.
No, Toph likes picking your toes, remember?
Twice.
Wants to actually clean them. And the second time, just for the good picking sensation.
Have you ever done that? Just picked
your
at your
toes?
like in between your toes?
No.
Oh,
Obviously.
makes me feel like I'm the weird one.
You do too?
I'm not like picking at them, but you just, I don't know.
You like rub your fingers in between your toes?
Kind of. You'll.
Thank you. Okay.
It's not like in a weird. It's making me sound so weird. Now I'm all self-conscious.
No,
Yeah, I would be too. Ooh.
There are weirder things out there.
I mean, I understand Toph because, like, those are her eyes, essentially. Like, she has to make sure she can sense fully. I can understand that, but regular human beings who can't bend it? No.
See, I like not having socks on a lot, so
Yeah.
like.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll give you this, like, it doesn't happen as much now, but, like, when I was younger, when I'd wear socks, I would get buildup of sock
toe jam?
fuzzies.
Oh.
No, just sock fuzzies in between my toes. And so I would, like, pick that out, but then I would be done. I wouldn't sit there and, like, This feels so good, guys.
You know that weird
Oh my gosh,
you know
I
that
just
weird,
spread my toes for the first
You
time.
know that weird shiver you get when you do that?
What the heck? The weird shiver when you shove your index finger in between your big toe and your index toe.
Actually, for me, it's right between like my pinky.
Oh, he's got a different one,
My
guys.
pinky
He's
toe.
got a different one, guys. Oh my gosh.
My 1 year
So
old
I'm guessing
daughter's...
you probably tasted stuff you picked from your toes.
I don't. No.
So you're not
I
that
don't
weird.
No,
I
that's
have a
gross.
I do have.
I don't
a
know your
cousin-
limits, guys.
No,
I
no,
need
no.
to establish some limits here so I know what I'm working with.
I personally don't. But I have a cousin who, when they were younger, they would like
Okay, we're done
So you're
talking
saying
about
chew
this.
their
No, we're
toenails
done.
off.
We're done.
So you're saying
we're
it's
done.
hereditary.
chew their toenails.
Anyways.
All right, back to Avatar.
Yeah. Speaking of distractions, Sokka learns not to focus on distractions in his training. His master's like, "Oh, Sokka," while he's in the middle of the fight, and it's a distraction. So yeah.
Iroh training like a champ.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is this where he does the clapping, where he's doing the push-ups?
Yeah.
And then the guard comes and he's just like, absolutely.
At first, I know it wasn't in the animation, but I was hoping there'd be like a little like fly or something.
Yeah,
like,
I was hoping so too.
No, but just humming a song. So this is where Piandao, well, Chris kind of covered it like 10 minutes ago, but this is where Piandao teaches Sokka some Mr. Miyagi teachings, where you can't take the stroke of the brush back. I think he was kind of going for a wax on, wax off
thing.
appearance thing, but then Sokka just ruins it with his face. But that's alright. Sokka's creative, as we learn on, you know? So the next lesson in battle is you only have a second to take everything in. And so then we get this amazing view of the waterfall and the scenery. Oh, best shot of the whole series for me. And then he turns around and after like 5 seconds, draw it or paint it or whatever.
So the actual landscape that he's like supposed to paint is actually fashioned after a real life waterfall.
Oh.
So prior to like the production for this series, the creators actually like took a trip around like Iceland to like try to get like inspiration for how they wanted the Fire Nation land to like look.
Okay, so the Fire Nation's modeled after Iceland, kind of? I suppose, because of the volcanoes and the...
Island.
Yeah. Cool.
You're welcome.
That's why you're here.
You say that every week.
I know.
Random waterfall. He's just trying to...
That's why I keep coming for that validation. Thank you, Dustin.
Every week, if I don't get it, I just feel lost.
I don't actually enjoy Avatar. I just enjoy hearing that.
Affirmation. He's studying all week for this one. This is going to be the one that gets it.
Is this the fact he's going to really enjoy?
Maybe he'll finally say, I'm proud of you.
Sherman, next week. Thanks, Dustin.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Oh, season 8.
Thanks,
Captain.
Captain.
Thanks, Captain.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sokka makes like a rock into a chair, some moss.
Yeah. Why was he moving the rock? Was it just?
It was
So-
one of his next lessons. I forgot what the
Because
lesson
he
was.
specifically, Piendo mentions that rock gardening is supposed to help with like learning how to use your environment to your advantage.
Oh, right.
Okay.
And then so he's just like, all right, we're gonna just push this giant man-sized boulder across this whole yard.
I think he can earthbend, dude.
I wonder if it's kind of like the training, like when I'm writing a contract or something for work, like going through it line by line and like creating it myself, like makes me, like when I'm presenting it to a customer and stuff, I know it in and out because I took the time to like go through it. So I wonder if the rock gardening is kind of like you wrap your mind around a space and it helps you move through the space better. I don't know. Something like that.
I think it's like when
So
we
you-
invaded Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
the Vietnamese knew their land so well that they were able to stop us from winning the war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to use your environment to your advantage.
Yeah.
Guerrilla warfare.
Thank you, Avatar, for teaching us lesson 1 on guerrilla warfare.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we could have just looked at like Vietnam, Afghanistan,
Yeah.
the Revolutionary War, because we did that to the British.
Is this where he says you messed up in a special way or whatever? Is that coming?
That might be coming.
Yeah, that's
the next
later.
thing.
Then he starts bossing like that helper dude. He's like, can you grab me a water?
Can you give me a cold drink?
Piando's like, I'll take one with lemons, please.
I like how for the rest of the episode he's sipping water with lemon every chance he gets. He's like, actually, that's a good idea.
Progressively, Sokka gets better and better at hand-to-hand combat with the swords.
A lot of improvement in 3 days.
Just like Luke, man.
That's all it
After
takes is 3
one day,
days.
after the end of the first day, Piendo's like, I think you're ready for your own real sword. It's like, what? I've been here for like 8 hours.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just put down that Iroh is always trying to fool the guards into thinking he's this helpless man, but really he's got some agenda going on.
Oh my gosh.
We won't spoil it, though.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember what his agenda is, so it's
You
been
get
so
you
long
get a hint at the end of this episode.
that
Kind of.
he's just working himself
A
up.
very vague hint.
Yeah.
If you've seen it before and can attach it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, just ignore me. So then Aang destroys a bug by blowing on it. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty crazy.
I didn't think he destroyed it. He just blew it away.
Oh, I thought he like completely like.
Cut it in half like
Yeah.
that other bug. He hates bugs so much. He just kills them all.
I mean, he blew it away so fast. I thought he just like, come on, kill it. Yeah, I mean, if he can create a freaking lightsaber with air.
When he did that, I'm like, oh, finally an excuse to airbend. It's been a long time since we've seen any bending in this episode.
Well, the whole first beginning of the episode is bending.
Yeah, but it's like the beginning and just
Sokka is ready to make his own sword, as you guys pointed out, and so he wants to make it out of his own material. So what better material than the space rock?
Mm-hmm.
And so Sokka returns to the camp, and everyone is so thankful that he's back. And then he has the idea regarding the meteor, and Aang's like, say something funny. And so he's like, say
Funny how?
Funny, yeah.
I'll just laugh.
That's the best Sokka.
Oh yeah, because then we also get like confirmation of like Toph's feelings too.
Oh yeah.
Because she's like, I guess they kind of missed you or something. And, like blushes
cheeks.
so
Yeah.
hard.
That's so funny.
Like, you're gonna have his babies.
I'm saying Sokka's the secret dad.
Oh, of course.
It's just not revealed to keep people shipping.
Does Sokka ever have kids
Not that we
officially?
know of.
Not
Not officially.
in canon, yeah.
Not yet. The Avatar verse is going to expand.
It's gonna be the first series, the Toph and Sokka love story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's probably one news I had to share too about Avatar. But anyways, Piandao is very impressed at his will and passion for making his sword. Him just like sitting there through the nights.
That's
And
traditional sword making for them too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, takes forever.
Oh yeah. Well, just to heat up half the work is heating up the metal. But
so then Piandao tells him that, like, as he's like on his way out from training or whatever, that he's very creative, he's very versatile, and very intelligent.
Yeah, he's like, you're not skilled. You're definitely not skilled.
Definitely not skilled.
But you have creativity, versatility, and intelligence. Yeah. That was really cool.
And this was just the reassurance I think he needed moving forward. Mm-hmm. Especially for the day of the invasion. So then Sokka completely screws up everything. He's like, I'm from the Southern Water Tribe.
I love the group in the back. Like, what are you saying, dude? Stop.
Quickest way to make 3 people crap themselves.
Yeah. Piando immediately starts like attacking Sokka. And then we get the final shot of Iroh. Just ripped, fam. Takes off his like belly, his fake belly, just ripped, and then just doing one arm push.
I know what eating with the other hand.
While eating, yeah.
This is nothing. I am the Dragon of the West.
Swole as a beast.
But he makes me want to work out more.
But like to think of the transformation, because like the last time you see him like before prison, he's such a big guy, and then just like I eat nothing but rice and water.
He's doing the One Punch Man workout regimen. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah, but he didn't run all the time.
No, his workout regimen to be so powerful.
Oh,
was
yeah.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run every day.
He could have just been the fattest man on Earth and still killed everyone.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Avatar. So Sokka uses his starts fighting Piandao, and Sokka uses his agility over an older opponent, which Piandao compliments him on. Sokka also uses the terrain to jump off the wall, which I thought was pretty cool. And he like dove at him. I thought that was a super cool move.
I'm not gonna lie, the whole thing, the thing that kept going over and over in my head was, "No, Anakin, I have the high ground."
Don't try it.
And then when he mentions, good, using your environment to your advantage, taking the high ground, I was like, oh, he said it!
You are the chosen one! Sorry,
we were brothers, Anakin.
I loved you. It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Sorry, I'm gonna mimic the whole scene now. I know it word for word. In your head. So then he uses the bamboo to swing and hit him.
Oh yeah,
that was super cool.
Very resourceful.
I hate that when you're walking on a trail with someone and that you're walking too close and all of a sudden whack, or they do it like they're not doing it on purpose, but they're holding the branch and they let. Anyways, sorry. It's a very good tactic in a fight.
It is.
That's why you don't go out in nature.
Yeah. Stay inside, guys.
Stay inside.
Stay on your butts and play video games.
Yeah.
Then you won't get hit with a stick.
Do it on a treadmill at least.
Yeah, there you go. Still indoors. Good idea. So Sokka flings some dust at Piandao, and this is where he says, "Very resourceful."
And then just stands there listening. I'm like, you're screwed.
Very resourceful. And then he just calms himself. You're like, oh crap. I like how Sokka's even like, oh crap. And tiptoes around.
And then the one branch.
The one random stick sitting in the
I
middle
was
of the
thinking that
courtyard.
too. Like, why is there a random twig?
Like
Probably from him gardening, rock gardening.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the guys who take care of the palace just suck at sweeping.
Well, he's only got one butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He can't keep up with all the tasks.
The temple was huge,
when he was sparring earlier, by the way, the first time you see him sparring in those weird like padded outfits, I don't know why, but I totally missed Piandao in the background, and so when I first see them like him and like that other guy sparring, I was like, did Piandao just gain like a bunch of weight random?
I didn't realize there was a butler when I first saw it, and then it like cut away and then came back, and I'm like, oh, it's a butler. For some reason, I didn't put that together.
Yeah, I was
first.
like, what?
Yeah, I didn't think it was him, but yeah.
And then we got that super cool scene of Piandao. Is the I can't talk. Is the correct pronunciation sheathed?
Yeah. His sword.
When he
I
sheathed
put
his
that
sword,
down. I'm like, that is so cool.
Blind too.
Yeah.
Just sensed it somehow.
Maybe people in this universe can just sense things flying through the air. That's how Toph can sense it. Just, I don't know.
There was maybe it's an episode coming up because again it's all mashing together, but Toph does sense Earth in the air coming at them and breaks it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we've talked about that multiple times.
So then we get Piandao knew that Sokka was Water Tribe all along and knew that Aang was the Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And because obviously he's the White Lotus and they know all.
Mm-hmm.
Sokka isn't really a Fire Nation name. You should really pick Lee. There's a million Lees.
Which I thought was funny.
Johnson.
Because, like, Zuko's like, Lee. My name's Lee.
Yeah.
Because he knows, there's a million of us around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gotta suck for, like, office parties or whatever, like, school or whatever. Is there a Lee in here? 6 kids raise their hand every class.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's literally like Johnson in our city. There's a million Johnsons everywhere. Yeah.
Or Peterson.
Is there? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Johnson, Peterson, Anderson.
Yeah.
Bruckelmeyer.
Bruckelmeyer?
Dude, there's a ton of them around here. Are you kidding me?
I don't want to say some things on camera, so
okay.
let's move it along.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. So Piandao believes that Sokka will be a better master than him someday, as far as swordsmen go, which I doubt. Just saying there.
Okay.
I love Sokka, but I just don't think he'll be better than Piandao. It's like saying that Zuko will be better than Iroh at firebending.
See, the tough part is, like, I'm
he's
inclined to
87.
agree with you, though, mainly because I don't know if Sokka would ever officially grow up. Like, he would always have that, like...
But that's probably what would make him a good swordsman, though, is he doesn't take himself so seriously.
Very resourceful.
He's able to, like, think outside the box. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, as they left, they receive a White Lotus tile from the butler.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, this is how you start your process into the White Lotus. Like,
but the door was a picture of the White Lotus.
Dude, they were all over the place.
I didn't notice that. Oh, that's cool.
Well, wasn't the training ground also a White Lotus? They were on too.
You see it more on the inside of his mansion.
Okay.
So, like, during, like, the start of that fight, and when he's doing, like, his whole calligraphy, you see it in, like, a lot of, like, the molding, I guess, of the room.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's...
Nope.
Oh,
Toph got to morph some space rock.
Oh, yeah.
And did you guys catch the last shape?
The Nickelodeon symbol.
Yep. I didn't get... I've seen that all over the place. I didn't realize it was in this episode, but when I saw it, I'm like, oh, Nickelodeon.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like how they ended with, like, a debate on, like, I don't know if it's from space, how can it be space Earth?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Because
It's from another planet.
It's rock.
Yeah.
Or it could be from our Earth. From
as far
Big Bang.
as bending numbers...
It's from actual Earth and goes to this Avatar's world.
Yeah. As far as bending numbers, there was 3 instances of water, 12 of earth, 0 fire, even though they're in the Fire Nation, and 2 of air. So, not very much in this episode. It was very Sokka-centric. Sherman, you got for the cast?
Well, first off, we didn't have any other creatures in this one again. But we did get a reference to lion turtles again, which I thought was kind of cool.
They're like slowly just name dropping lion turtle, lion turtle, lion turtle. Hey, lion turtles like this.
I did enjoy that during Sokka's training, Piandao says that the sword must be an extension of one's own body. He's like, oh, like a second head. No, like a very long, sharp arm.
Yeah.
He's thinking about that 2-headed fish, man.
Probably. But no, like he responds, no, it's got to be like a very long, sharp arm, which is funny because he's voiced by the T-1000 who turns his hands into or swords.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, Robert Patrick.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Who is also in X-Files for those sci-fi nerds.
Which X-Files? Was he a
The
major character?
X-Files?
Like the original?
He's the replacement for Mulder when he quit the show.
Okay.
So like he gets to work with Scully.
Okay.
From the 99?
99 references all over the place.
99?
Wow, that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen him in much else other than Terminator. I didn't realize
he does some voice acting. He's done a number of movies. His character in this, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, is the character Piandao is actually modeled after Sifu Kisu, who's the fighting instructor / consultant for Avatar.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Like his number one picture when you Google him is him holding a sword, and I'm like, yes, all right,
Nice.
Satisfying.
yep. And then the very next picture is his photo next to Piandao's face.
For some reason, I thought that was an Eevee.
No.
I know it's a sun.
And then a cat paw.
And a cat winking at you.
That's actually a devil.
What?
It's a little devil horn.
Oh, jeez.
It's an emoji.
Okay, let's rate this episode.
Garbage. Everything gets a 2.
888 for you. Story, execution, and writing.
Yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't like it was kind of another filler episode, but I guess it did character build on Sokka a lot.
Yeah.
Just like the Painted Lady, I think, was a character building moment for Katara.
You know, the thing I think, about, the Painted Lady, though, it wasn't really a character build on Katara, it was more of the same thing.
Right, just reinforcing
which kind of bugged me.
That's kind of that's what I put in my notes. It wasn't
this one, at least Sokka was, here when he started, and then by the end, we all know that he plays an integral part in the team, but he, as a character, had to learn that, so...
Well, not only that, but, everybody else got to learn that, too, because, the other 3 realized, well, things kind of suck without Sokka here. We really do need him around.
Mm-hmm. Showed the importance of Sokka.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. For the performance, the delivery, I'm probably just going to give a 7, because it didn't really, hit me hard. It was just good, normal, average, I don't know. But the action, so the blocking and stunts and environment, I liked all that. So I'd probably give that a 9 on that. And then the believability, character developments, presence, interpretation, I'd probably give a... it's mostly just a Sokka. Everyone else didn't really have anything else to do, so I'd probably give it an 8, I guess. Right. A little bit better than average.
Sounds good.
Sherman?
10 for Sam. I don't think I'm ever going to go lower than a 10 on this show.
No need to.
It's actually okay because it brings our average up a little bit.
Visuals I put for a 9. I just love seeing Iroh in his cell. Plus I loved the whole blacksmithing scene because this for the time frame, besides the
those bellows looked so hard to operate. Instead of just up and down, it's like a pull and push. It'd be so hard. Besides
the pouring of the mold, that it wasn't very common for the time for them. They would actually hammer out that sword typically.
Oh wow. So they'd have an
anvil,
and then they'd just extend it and shape it just. Oh wow.
Yeah, because typically for the time period, what they would do is they the way they would make them so durable and strong is they would fold it multiple times, reheat it.
Wouldn't it be helpful to heat it up, put it in the mold, and then fold it? I don't know anything about blacksmithing, so.
No, what you'd want to do, because you want to draw it out, because you have way more control over how thick certain parts are going to be.
Oh.
And then you can fold it over,
okay,
which makes it stronger.
Yeah.
I thought you need Daedra hearts to make Daedra
Nice.
Little Skyrim reference there.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't get that reference at all.
We were talking about Skyrim the other day, so...
No, I watch a lot of Man-at-Arms where they, make stuff like this.
Sure.
I think there's an episode where they do actually make Sokka's meteor sword.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
For effects, I gave it an 8. There wasn't anything, crazy for this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, Dustin, what would you rate this episode overall?
8.
8. Nice. So that gives us 8.3. So we're a little less than IMDb at 8.8. So that's all we have for this episode. Dustin, you want to take us out?
Thank you guys for watching this Chepisode of Phantom Nights. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube to see our video versions of the podcast and Apple and Spotify podcasts as well. To become a Phantom Knight, please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and TikTok as well. So thank you guys for watching, and check us out next time. Appa!
Yep. 9-9!
9!